Has signs that's like, preserve Nashville, keep Nashville Republican, like keep Nashville normal, like don't bring your politics here. You're leaving your state to come here for a reason because you made bad policy decisions that resulted in high taxes, high inflation, and yes, we have high inflation in Nashville too, it's federal, but still, like, don't come and bring your crap politics to a city in an area that is already nice.
Right.
Ugh.
All right, guys, Chrissy Clark here today, former Heritage intern, and now she's back.
Yeah, no. I feel like Heritage took one look at me and they were like, oh, you really speak a lot. Maybe Heritage is not the best spot for you.
I love it. You got some memories here then.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I come back here and I'm like flooded with like the horrible decisions that 20-year-old Chrissy made, but that's okay.
So you've changed a lot politically?
No, not politically per se. I guess I was kind of like sycophantically Republican as a young kid, and then I woke up and realized that Republicans are likely in bed with Democrats as well, and there's just kind of a uniparty that's operating here in D.C., and I got really frustrated by it, and I was like, peace. I will always call myself conservative, not Republican. Right?
I believe in that uniparty thing too.
It's crazy. I mean, you look at what they're doing with taxes and even just like the SAVE Act, for instance, which is to not get illegal immigrants to vote. Come on, you think that the Republicans didn't, like, they don't know that they don't have the votes? Of course, like, it's all such a political sham. It's not actually interested in like, hey, let's create a bill that's actually going to get people to pass what we need to pass to ensure election integrity. It's crap.
Yeah, politics feels like reality TV every day. I log into X and I'm like, what's going on today?
I know, it's so true. And the way that like reality stars, I kind of wish they would get a little bit into politics because it would be more entertaining to watch than like all these ugly people talking about politics, you know?
Yeah, that tends
like
to
at
happen.
least they're hot and funny instead of like dumb and ugly and kind of funny.
It's because people are old in politics, so they're not really the most attractive, I guess.
I know, but like just generally speaking, it's not like you're looking at, I don't even know. Paul Ryan's a bad example, but like trying to think.
Who's the most attractive politician in your eyes?
Right now, that's rough because I feel like all of them like come for a couple years. Like the good ones are only there and they like naturally term limit themselves, and so they're normal. So naturally they're like more attractive. So
there's people who are saying JD Vance is up there, right?
He is it's the eyes though. If he didn't have blue eyes, I don't think he'd be as attractive.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
Is that a hot take? Those are like piercing blue eyes on like brown hair. It hits differently. If I had blue eyes, do you know how hot I would be? Like
something with blue eyes is attractive.
It is.
I think because it's so rare that you're like, oh, what is that?
I didn't know that about blondes though. That's why blondes are considered more attractive. Like it is just worldwide so rare, but you don't really see that in the States. But worldwide, it's so rare, which is why people.
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, when I go to Nashville, it's all blonde.
I know. I love.
Literally, I'm the only Asian there.
I feel like I'm the only brunette. So.
Yeah, it's facts. I go to any restaurant in Nashville, it's like 50 blondes.
Yeah, no, I mean that's just the type, but they're usually actually pretty good people in Nashville. I know people are complaining about the fact that Nashville is turning like uber liberal, but if you actually talk to the people of Nashville, they're very conservative. They're just they're so apathetic. They're on Broadway. They're at the bars. They're doing their own thing. They're not paying attention to politics, and that's why we have like a half transgender mayor or something. He's so weird.
Well, every major city is liberal, to be honest.
I know it's not like a huge shocker, but Nashville was, relatively speaking, a pretty conservative place until the last, I'd say 5-6 years, relative to cities.
Right. Other people from LA and stuff started coming in.
It's so funny though, because I lived in Austin before I lived in Nashville, and I've just kind of lived all over. And the way that Austin didn't care about its culture enough to tell people like F off with your terrible ideas, and the way Nashville has tried to preserve it. They have signs all over this big, they call it the sticks because we're in the sticks. It's like the sticks, design thing they have in the middle of the city, and it has signs that's like, preserve Nashville, keep Nashville Republican, like keep Nashville normal, like don't bring your politics here. You're leaving your state to come here for a reason because you made bad policy decisions that resulted in high taxes, high inflation, and yes, we have high inflation in Nashville too, it's federal, but still, like, don't come and bring your crap politics to a city in an area that is already nice.
Right. Ugh, that's the thing with COVID. Everyone fled Cali, went to Austin, went to Vegas, went to Nashville, some tried to go to Miami, but they haven't penetrated.
Yeah, thank goodness they haven't penetrated. I mean, they really haven't penetrated suburban Nashville yet, which is good. They've stuck to like the actual downtown. Like I live in one of the most like liberal streets. Literally, it's just you go down the street and it's like transgender flag here, transgender flag. Oh, everywhere. And then there's this one, I would call it like an apothecary of sorts, like just random things, knickknacks, jazz like that. And they have a sign on there that says, just everything is like, we're in a red state, run, this is scary because it's Halloween or something like that. And I'm like, just move. Just move.
Wow.
Like, what are you doing? You operate a business here. You benefit on the fact that we have like good business policies here in a red state. Why are you complaining about being in a red state when you're taking advantage of all of the good policies that you get in a red state? Go operate your business in California. See how it works out for you.
For real. Yeah, people complain that the U.S. is like the worst.
I will never, I'm Canadian, so I will never understand this. This boggles my mind beyond all compare. I could actually get email about it. I don't get how you could sit there and say, oh, America is the most racist, sexist, whatever country in the world. I'm like, you want to try Afghanistan? I saw a girl holding a sign that said, I want to one day have as many rights as a gun does. Okay, you want to be banned from federal buildings, schools? Like, that's literally what we left for the Taliban, so just chill.
Yeah, I saw that sign yesterday. Yeah, people just don't know when they zoom out.
No, people are, it's painful. And then going through the immigration process myself, it's so frustrating. People are like, oh, it's so messed up, it's so awful, and it's because of their skin color. I'm like, I sat in the immigration system for 13 years. You think I look scary? I mean, like, no, I'm not some whack job. And my family just came here on like a legal work visa for Oracle. We're not threatening by any stretch of the means. It still took 13 years because it was 13 years of incompetence and bureaucracy. And if we would just, I always say, if Chick-fil-A just ran the DMV or if Chick-fil-A ran our immigration system, we would have happy, good citizens here. I just
absolutely
advocate for that hardcore.
So obviously the Mexican border is a whole fiasco, but what about the Canadian border? I never hear about that.
Oh my gosh. So there is this sector up in the northeastern area. It's like New York, Vermont, and one other state that I'm forgetting. And we have actually seen the highest number in the last fiscal year. So fiscal years are 2020 or October to October, October 23 to October 24. You've seen the highest rate of illegal immigrants crossing through from 90 different countries through the northern border.
Whoa.
They know that we have a massive problem on the southern border. So immigrants are getting smart to this. They're utilizing Canada's lax border policies as well, flying into Canada and trying to get in through our northern border. We don't have Border Patrol agents there. We barely have Border Patrol agents on the south. How are we doing it in the north? It's just, people are getting smart. You think you'd shut the southern border and it's going to go well? No. And it always makes me laugh because I went to college in Michigan, so I would go into Canada routinely to drink at 19.
I did that too.
It was a blast. Yeah. And I would come back in and you would just get wrung out by Border Patrol. And I'm like, could you maybe just put your energy towards the illegal ones? Because I'm coming back here because I live here legally. If you could just stop with the 9th degree.
They made me get out of the car when I went.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I went to Montreal. I had to step out the vehicle. They searched the whole car. I was just a college kid.
Yeah, same. That same thing happened because I had, you know those things on the back of your phone that hold your wallet?
Yeah, the circle thing?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Kind of, I guess some of them are circle. Mine, like, had my global entry. I had one of those on the back of my passport. And they were like, this is highly irregular. I'm like, for a college kid to be inventive so they don't lose their global entry card? Like, this is so weird. And I had to get out and get completely searched. And it was just this wild thing. I'm like, oh, if only you would put that time and energy towards the things that actually matter, like the southern border and now the northern border. I'll have to get you the name of that sector up in the northern border.
I think James O'Keefe just exposed this. I don't know if it was the northern border, but he made a documentary.
Oh, I'd love to see it. His work is so interesting. Like, he's just always a step ahead of other people, and that's what makes a good documentarian, obviously. But people are always paying catch up to whatever he's uncovering.
No, he's a trendsetter. He went to the border and crossed. Like, he pretended to be an illegal and crossed and documented all of it.
Okay, this is really awful, and I'm not going to say this person's name, but I used to work at a company, and this person was terminated from the company, this employee, and he was on a work visa, so he was going to get sent back to his home country. And I literally told him, if you don't somehow get your work visa or new work visa, you should go to Mexico and try to, like, and talk to like conservative media and just try to sneak in because it will be worth it. Like, you will make money. Someone will hire you because you do that. Like, you might be risking your life. Sure. Maybe I shouldn't advocate for this, but like, hey, you know.
Beats waiting 13 years like you did.
Oh my gosh, exactly. And that's the other thing too, is we waited 13 years and we had to do it all right. I remember my dad got in a traffic accident I'm pretty sure it was his fault. I don't know. But I was like 9. But I had to get pulled out of elementary school or middle school, or whatever age I was at the time, and leave and go downtown to our immigration lawyer's house or immigration lawyer's office solely to do this whole background check because now we had a strike against us in the immigration system.
Wow.
What? Like...
Just for getting in an accident.
Right. And now it's not a crime to be here illegally, but we get in an accident and our citizenship is threatened.
It's so crazy. I'm getting married next year, and my fiance's family's in Bolivia, but it's so hard to get over here. Like, some of them probably won't be able to make the wedding. Isn't that crazy?
I know. Well, we just had a friend whose family's in the Dominican Republic. They couldn't come. Her own sister. She's American citizen, and she could not come for that.
That's terrible. Yeah, they're saying it's taken years.
It's wild. And it's so sad because there are people, I just wish they did it based on, obviously you want to say merit, but also just, I wish we had like a good vibes meter and you could just put people into the little, like a tube or something and be like, yeah, they got good vibes. They could come in.
They don't want those people. They want the criminals in.
Exactly. Why is that? Why do you feel that way? Like, it's
got to be by design because they want to rule in fear.
Yeah.
Like, everything they do is to put us in a state of fear.
I've never felt fearful until until I saw stories, and I'm sure part of it is a bit of a media manifesto. But really, I mean, I see the crime coming up in my own area. I moved to this specific part of Nashville 3 years ago to be in the I didn't care how much I paid in rent. If I could feel safe walking to my car and not feel like I needed a firearm in my own apartment complex, good. Like, my standard was pretty low. And no, in the course of the 3 years, I can't wait to get out of here in February because I'm dying to get out because all of a sudden crime has come into the area as soon as we
in
elect.
Nashville?
It's crazy.
Wow, I thought that was a safer city.
No, and it's just sad. I mean, relatively, but I opened my door to just let some fresh air in, and it used to be so quiet and peaceful on my street, and now I just hear the N-word and people screaming at each other constantly.
And that happened within a few years?
It happened within 6 months.
Holy
In the last
crap.
6 months, they put up this battered women's shelter, and it's no longer... I mean, this is my commentary on Christians. I am a Christian. The way that Christian ministry has gone so into, let me give you handouts as opposed to, let me give you handouts and tell you about the Lord. There is a massive difference. And what was happening at this specific shelter is giving anybody handout. And then they also call it a battered women's shelter. And there's men walking into it all day. So it's attracting all of the homeless population to a once very nice part of Nashville. It's incredibly frustrating. Of course, I want to give and to help people, but at the same time, I don't think giving them motivation to come get food and then ravage another area is not helping the city in any way.
And that's the thing with a lot of government funding programs too, like food stamps and Section 8. Like, you're providing this lifestyle, but then if they want to make more money, they don't qualify for it. So why would they? Right.
I know that we went through this with a girl at the church. She was super, super sweet girl. She got pregnant when she was 16, and she's kind of had boyfriend to boyfriend, and we've always helped her out. My husband and I have always, she needed a vacuum. We bought her a vacuum, whatever she needed. And she was living at these apartment complexes, and we were doing some outreach in the area, and it was so fun. And she's such a great girl. And then she moved into this separate unit she kind of like went up. She got a job at Kroger, was doing really well. And all of a sudden she stopped applying for benefits. And I felt so bad because my phone was constantly blowing up. Like, I don't have enough food. I don't have enough money for gas because she was off of so many of these assistant programs. And I'm like, the threshold either needs to be just so different, or we need to stop punishing people for progressing in their life, because that's what's happening.
They should be rewarded, if anything.
And that's not what the system is designed to do. It's designed to keep you on the teat.
Right. That's what they want, right?
They're always going to, because it gives them more power and more control over your life.
Crazy. I saw you cover the Harry Sis and Bryce Hall beef.
Yeah.
So Harry's coming on the show.
Oh my gosh, good luck.
What should I ask him?
Oh my gosh. If I could ask Harry Sisson anything, what would it be? Honestly, I want to say, do you have a tiny wiener? But that's really...
He's probably been asked that before.
No, it's not a unique question by any stretch of the means. I actually want to know, like, what is your hot take? Like, can you give me a hot take that isn't something that's manufactured? I would actually love if somebody would ask Kamala that too. Like, do you have something that you're like, I wish you would just talk about this, or I wish you would say something. He's also very just blatantly political, right? I would love to know some of his like social and cultural opinions on things, because he obviously engages in society. He wouldn't have followers if he didn't have some sort of relatability. Like, where does he see liberalism on that social and cultural aspect, right? Because I feel like conservatives actually really win in that aspect.
Right.
That's why I have a lot of closeted conservatives, or people that watch other like people like us. And they're like, oh, conservative? I didn't realize, like, you guys are cool? Oh, cool. I thought you were like a bunch of Bible-thumping weirdos, you know?
That's how I got turned into it.
You're right. You just like find people that are like you. And you're starting to see a shift in that. So I'd actually be very interested to see if he feels that way as well.
Yeah, almost humanize him, right?
Yeah,
because it sounds
bit.
like he's just following a script half the time. Like,
I know. I want to know. Like, he's got to have something inside that he's like, oh, I just want to say the word retarded or something, you know?
I'll try to press him, but
Yeah.
some of his takes are wild. Like, he said Kamala killed it in the Fox News interview yesterday.
Okay, well, that's just delusion. Man. I want to know, like, hot takes, like something you would only tell your best friend that you probably don't want aired. Just
Facts.
like, freaking tell us. It's funny.
Yeah, I might have to give him a shot before, loosen him up a little bit.
Oh,
Is he
yeah.
even 21?
Is he? Yeah, he's got to be
he
21.
might be, actually.
For
He
a
looks
second,
young.
yeah, you could always just give him that.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
What about Trump? What would you ask him or tell him if you saw him?
Oh gosh, I love that Trump just did that Harris Faulkner sit down with women, because that really is his lowest point. But the thing is that most women don't like to take themselves too seriously. The second that a woman starts taking herself too seriously, she kind of becomes like the odd one out in female circles. Females like to be relatable. We like to be emotional around each other. And so when Trump is able to actually be himself and not be like an on camera talking to you or like in a big crowd, he is actually really relatable. And I think that's why a lot of women in his life love him and really look up to him. And I have nothing but good things to say about him, because he's so funny and just naturally like off the cuff and doesn't take himself too seriously. And women are attracted to that. That's why we like funny guys. We're naturally attracted to people that just don't take themselves like so seriously. I know everyone wants their 6'5" finance bro, but like he better have a good personality too, or I'm not interested. It's just, I think he's been gifted with such a great personality. I just want it to shine. And so, yeah, I think he goes on those bro-y podcasts for a reason.
Yeah.
Because he shines in that light and he shines. So I would love for women that are a little less serious. Honestly, you know who I'd love to see Trump talk to? Brianna Chickenfry.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
That would be a good one, because she doesn't take herself too seriously. She's not afraid of being canceled. She's been canceled like 80 times this week.
Yeah.
It'd be funny to get Brianna Chickenfry to talk to Donald Trump. And if Harris can go on Call Her Daddy, then Trump can go on.
Yeah, Brianna would be a good one. She turned down Kamala too, so.
I mean, she wouldn't do it. I'm not saying she would. I'm just saying it would be funny to watch. It would be the equivalent of talking to a very female audience, but getting some like stupid ass questions.
Yeah,
It'd be
absolutely.
good.
Chrissy, thanks for coming on. That was fun.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.